Hello and good evening. Yes, I'm in my AKA office bathroom again. Now, I haven't really done any videos since last Thursday, which was the general election. And I did want to say thank you to everybody who chose to vote. I don't know how many changes have actually taken place at the moment. I very much doubt we'll see much of a change for a while, if at all, but that's just the way politics is, I'm afraid. But at least people had the opportunity to try and make a difference. So I still haven't had the opportunity yet to interview the gentleman in question with how they are finding being under the Department of Work and Pensions now that the old legacy benefits for themselves have ceased to exist. So that is just to recap that the person I was going to interview, originally they would have been on what was called working tax credit and child tax credit, and now they are on universal credit. I myself, I am still on universal credit. So I get carer's allowance, child tax credits, and ESA. With regards to personal independent payments, I have had an acknowledgement from the DWP clearly stating that they should hopefully make a decision as to whether or not they are going to reinstate my benefit by the 18th of July, which is going to be next week. So they have had my mandatory reconsideration documentation sent to them. If on the 18th they write to me or they contact me around that time period and say, no, we're sorry, we don't think you should still be awarded personal independent payments because of the following reasons, I will then go to appeal. And I can only stress that if I had known about mandatory reconsideration before and about appealing before, I would have done it sooner. And I think everybody, I know it's really time consuming and really stressful, and it is not a 5-minute job, okay? This is why they are banking on people not appealing, not saying, actually, I don't agree with the decision you've made. I think you need to reconsider. Because so many people at the moment, like I keep saying, are being kicked out of the system, are being treated like garbage. And these are people that up until a few weeks ago hadn't done anything wrong. They hadn't broken any rules, any laws. It's just that the government, for whatever reason, to save money is the excuse they keep giving. Well, one of them. The benefit system has changed. And now all of these people are having to alter their lives in order to comply with new rules and new legislation, and to then reapprove to the government that they are sick to claim personal independent payments. Now, I still don't really know anything about universal credit. I'm not on universal credit. I haven't had to apply for universal credit. All I can tell you is that from speaking to people that I know who have currently been transferred onto that benefit, they are literally getting to the point where they're saying, I'm not going to do this. I can't be doing with it. It's a waste of my time. It's too stressful. What they're planning on paying me, I could probably earn in a week. And this is the attitude that a lot of people have probably got is, well, why should you claim money off the government? Can't you just work more hours and get that money? Well, it doesn't always work like that, because originally child tax credit and working tax credit, they had their own separate rules that were governed by the Inland Revenue. Now, the Inland Revenue are saying, we're not doing this, we're not going to be responsible. We want universal credit. We want the Department of Work and Pensions to sort it all out. And people literally do not know what way is up. They are really, really struggling because they're saying to themselves, okay, but I have a job. And you're telling me that in order to claim the same amount of money, pretty much, that I was getting 2-3 weeks back, I've now got to fill out this paperwork online and I've got to look for another job at 35 hours a week. But I already have a job and I work 40 hours a week. And 2-3 weeks back, that was, I was working the legal amount of hours per week or whatever the hours were to claim working tax credit and child tax credit. Now you're telling me that in order for me to still claim that money, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. Why? When 2-3 weeks ago I didn't have to do anything. And it is literally so regimented and so time consuming. I mean, the person I spoke to, they said it took them 2 hours just to do the online application. And then they had to go to a meeting only to be told to go to another meeting. And then they went to that meeting only to be told, oh, thank you for attending this meeting. You need to come back at the same time next week. We'll talk to you then. So already they've had to go for 3 meetings in the space of a month. This is what I have been told so far. And yet they have received no financial support whatsoever. And they're saying, well, hang on a minute, I've come to these meetings. I'm the one having to take 2 hours out of my work schedule to come and sit in an office to speak to you, only to be told, thank you for turning up. We'll see you at the same time next week. Thank you for turning up. We'll see you at the same time next week. And as of yet, they have not received any financial aid at all. So they're kind of getting to the point where they're thinking, well, why have I had to go for 3 meetings and I've still not received anything? And again, I'm hoping to interview them or somebody else who has recently been transferred onto Universal Credit to get their views and opinions of how this benefit has affected their lives. Because again, I cannot realistically talk about Universal Credit. I can talk about how people have talked to me about it, but I can't honestly, hand on heart, say how it will affect me as an individual. All I know is that since personal independent payments stopped, I have had to really think about what I buy and when I buy it, because the money I would have used prior to that to buy the things I need, I no longer receive. So I've just been put on a new medication, which I've been advised to not take until after I have my blood work later on this week. And then they want me to do a review in 3 weeks' time to tell them how they think this medication is helping me or whether it was just a waste of time for me to be put on it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next 3 weeks, if this new medication I've been put on can improve my life, I will be really, 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 really happy. If it makes me feel worse, then I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just speculating at the moment. So main focus tonight is wind down, relax, have my counselling in the morning, and then just take the rest of the week as it comes. And hopefully by Monday morning, I can start my new medication, and hopefully I will see an improvement in my health and well-being, providing that the medication they've put me on doesn't affect any of the other medication that I'm currently taking. So I will talk more. It won't be my video without a yawn about my new medication on Monday, but up until Monday I have decided that I will hold off taking it until I've had my blood work done, because I have a feeling that when I do start this medication, it will affect my blood work, and my GP is going to need a comparison. This is the one thing they've always keep saying to me is, we've compared your blood work from 6 months ago. What's changed? And I'll go, well, you've put me on A, B, C, and D. And before I was on X, Y, and Z. And they'll be like, right, yeah, thank you for letting us know. Don't take A anymore, but take Z, double the amount every day. And this is kind of what's been happening for years. It's stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And my body is at the point where it's like somebody who I suppose the best way to describe it is if you put the wrong type of fuel in a car. It might work for a little while, but then it's just going to completely knacker the engine. And that's basically what's happened. So they're having to literally strip me back and change my medication again to see whether or not it makes a difference. So fingers crossed. But please, 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 anyone who has been kicked off benefits recently, appeal. And do not suffer in silence. And don't think that you are alone, okay? And anyone who is being forced into universal credit, again, I know people don't want to be letting everybody know how much money they're earning or in receipt of, and that's fine. You know, that's got absolutely nothing to do with anyone. But at the same time, it's having that support network. Because I'm telling you now, the Department of Work and Pensions and the Inland Revenue are offering no support and hardly any guidance to people. And it's only by people going online or on social media and gleaning and sort of gathering information off one another that the information is being passed around. Is it the right information? Is it the wrong information? I don't know, but it's better than no information. So fingers crossed I'll be able to interview somebody and get their views and opinions who is happy to share how they feel universal credit is currently affecting them. And I know it's going to be different for everybody. It's supposed to be means tested, apparently. It's supposed to be based on you as an individual. But again, if you don't fit into that little box, you're getting little or no support. So thank you very much for listening to me. And if you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact me. But again, I must stress, if there is anyone who posts anything that is offensive or abusive towards myself or anyone else, your feedback and comments will be removed. Okay? People suffer enough in life, you know, and the only thing I guess I can say is do unto others as you wish them to do unto you. So if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything nice at all. Constructive criticism is one thing, but, you know, there's constructive criticism and then there's just being outright abusive. So please just try and support one another. You know, your friends, your family, your loved ones. Because at the moment, everybody is struggling and nobody really knows what is going to happen in the next week, in the next day, in the next month, in the next year. Nobody has a clue. So it's just about sort of taking each day as it comes and doing what we can to survive. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I know it's been raining over the last few days, but if it doesn't rain over the weekend, even if you only get 20 minutes over the next couple of days, use that time to just be yourself. De-stress, be that, I don't know, sit in the garden or listen to music. I think people are so obsessed because life is so much in the fast lane that we do not get to appreciate the little things. So if you can, over the next couple of days, think about your own mental health and well-being and take care of you.